Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Maniac Monday. First and foremost, I hope all of you guys had a fantastic weekend. Hopefully you got to get out and enjoy the weather wherever you're at. I know it warmed up a little bit here here in Iowa. It's still a little too cold for my liking. But either way, it's just a trotting along, and we'll be out of winter before we know it. And then I do also hope that all of you guys are having a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk on top of everything else. Because life really is too short as is. And then do like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you every Monday through Friday, permitting my schedule, and of course major holidays. I definitely am not here. I'm with the old family doing family things, being a family, that kind of stuff. And then of course do me a huge favor and check out the description box for more information on the daily film, such as your basic synopsis, your starring cast, director, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with an MPAA rating, if there is one that exists, which don't look for that one too often, because most of the movies that I review are usually not rated. So if you're looking for certain things that are like rated R, PG, PG-13, it is very rare when I actually have one of those that is rated, because I try to go off the beaten path enough as possible to help you guys find some different films that most people don't either A, talk about or don't review. So I try to do a little bit of a variety for you guys. Oh, and then there's also going to be a link for a trailer in there in the description box, and then there's also going to be some trivia if I find anything worthwhile of mentioning. It's one of those things. Some movies have some great trivia, and some are just lame as can be. Like last Friday with The Beast and the Magic Sword. Talk about a lame duck of a movie. Alright, now that I got all that out of the way, let's move on to the film of the day. Now, this one came out back at 1983, 84-ish, so it's 36, 37 years old. It is none other than Wild Beast, directed by Franco Prosperi, who also did Mondo Cane and Africa Audio, which I need to get Africa Audio in my collection. I have Mondo Cane 1 and 2, which are very interesting Mondo films, which are kind of like documentaries, but they deal more with what would I say, with different lifestyles. They don't just focus on one different group of people. They do a multiple range of people, so it gives you a little bit of variety. So and one thing you got to also take with a grain of salt with Mondo films, a lot, especially with Franco Prosperi's films, the Mondo Cane 1, 2, and then Africa Audio. He was known for kind of staging scenes, rigging scenes to go out in his favor, or flat out like changing things to make it look like there was much crazier things going on with the world, with whatever it is their taboo subject was at the moment. So it's one of those things with those you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Alright, and let's move on to this one. This is the Severin Films release, by the way. This is the only way I know of getting it on Blu-ray. As far as what do we got inside, it is no reversible artwork here, as you can see. It is a standard issue pressed Blu-ray. And then as far as special features go on here, you got a number of interviews, one with Franco Prosperi himself. There's a one with Tony DeLeo. There's one about the filmmakers on the filmmakers. It's just, there's all kinds of goodies in here. There's like 6 different special features that are, or different interviews on here. So definitely, probably not 6. There's 5 interviews. I'm sorry. There's 5 interviews on here, including a trailer. So you get a little bit of extra stuff in here for as far as your special features go. Now let's get on to the specs of the movie. This one stars Lorraine, Selle, John Aldrich, Louisa, Lloyd, and Hugo Bologna. And then, like I said, directed by Franco Prosperi. This cut runs at an hour and 32 minutes and is unrated, of course. I imagine this one might have suffered with cuts along the way because there are some pretty gnarly animal mauling attack type stuff going on in this film because it is a very gutsy, not edgy, but it definitely falls into an extreme line because it is crazy to work with the kind of animals that they worked with. A lot of big cats, polar bears, elephants, hyenas, just all kinds of different animals and species that it, I'm sure, was a complete not disaster, but one of those kind of ordeals where things probably just aren't going right most of the time because animals and children are like the hardest to work with as far as making films. So if I ever make a movie, I'm not working with children or animals. I'm working with grown-ups and grown-ups only, damn it. Either way. But as far as what is this one about exactly, it's about somebody who decides, well, there's this toxic waste chemical that has a PCP agent inside of it, which PCP is also known as angel dust. I believe that's what it's also known as. I don't do drugs, so I'm not 100% on that one. But either way, PCP is in this this toxic waste that finds itself into the drinking supply of the city zoo, which in turn causes all the animals to go completely haywire. They attack people left and right. They find ways to get out of their cages. At one point, what happens is a plane crashes, I believe is what caused it, and it hits the electrical stuff, and the electrical stuff goes down, and these tigers and cats, these big cats and animals are able to roam free. You got elephants breaking out of their cages all together because they are such enormous monstrous sized beasts. They're not monsters; they're beautiful creatures. But either way, they break out of their cages like nothing, and you get other stuff like a seeing eye dog that goes bonkers after drinking some of the water at the zoo, is taken home by his owner, and on the way home he's acting really sketchy, really weird. This dog is, which in turn there's this weird little funny little scene that connects off of this scene where this couple are sitting there making out inside the car, and the girl's like, "Oh, I think he was watching us," and it's like, he's got a seeing eye dog and a cane, and he's wearing sunglasses at night. He's not Corey Hart or Carrie Hart or whoever it is. He's not that fella. He isn't cool enough to wear sunglasses at night. But either way, it's like there's so many different factors. It's like that's a blind man. So even the guy is like, no, that guy's blind, so he didn't see anything. But either way, later on in the movie, you see the seeing eye dog attack its owner, and it completely mauls him. But onto that little scene where the couple was making out, there is a group of sewer rats, like hundreds of them, that come up out of the sewers, and they start attacking them. It is absolutely, I found the scene hilarious, because rats can definitely do you some damage, especially if they are roaming in giant hordes of them, like what they are in this film. Which, by the way, they painted they were white rats, and they painted all of them to look more like sewer rats, because they were stage rats. They are ones that are purposely grown up in situations where they're around humans, especially grown up humans, to the degree of where they're comfortable. They don't get all skittish and jump around and run away, or just do things that they wouldn't want it to do in general. But they painted these rats to look like it. It's absolute, or these white rats to look like it. It's absolutely hilarious. It reminded me of the movie Rats with the Bruno Mattei, Claudio Fragasso film, which is absolutely stunning. You need to check that out. Great ending. But all these creatures, they eventually get out and they start attacking people left and right in public. Like I said, you get a seeing eye dog. You get a couple making out. You got a girl who is stuck on the side of the road and is working on her Volkswagen Beetle, and a cheetah decides to come on up, and she is able to get the car started. The one downfall to this car is it is a convertible, so there is she has to basically outrun this cheetah for her to essentially live, and she is just racing down the street. Eventually, gets in a head-on collision with another car, and they both die in that. And in turn, they were being followed by the police. They actually were able to. She went right by them. They're like, "Oh no, let's turn around," and they're like, "That lady's a crazy one." Then they see the cheetah, and then they turn around and they go after the cheetah. Which, by the way, the guy that is the zookeeper in this, he relies heavily on tranquilizer darts. So he is kind of extremely dedicated to his job of protecting these animals, no matter what the cost is. So he's got a very interesting scenario going on with him. It's either it's a make or break scenario, like he can stick with his moral roots and his gut feeling and not kill these animals, or he can kill them and survive, because these animals they're insanely smart on top of it, because the things that they're able to pull off and do, and where they're able to go. Like, there's a tiger that is down in the subway systems, which, by the way, one of the ladies in here, that was Lorraine Selle, I believe is who that is. She was from Cannibal Ferox, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. But either way, check that one out. That movie's awesome. Either way, where was I going with this? The tiger scene. Yes, the tiger is able to break in through the subway train, and it is after all these people. It is very unrealistic. The whole movie is extremely unrealistic, but it works. I never found myself bored in this thing. It is fun beginning to end. I minus the first couple of minutes. The first couple of minutes, it's like, okay, where's this going? But I knew going into the movie what it was about. I knew a pretty good synopsis on what to expect going into this. So I didn't really find any trouble getting through the first few minutes, or at least through the parts where there's no animal attacks. It was pretty easy to get through that because I knew what to expect. Now, as far as any kind of ratings would go with this thing, on a technical side, it's probably a 3 out of 5, middle of the road. The story works great. The acting is okay. You know, it's an Italian dubbed horror film that has been dubbed for the American, or for the English market, not just America, but the Europe market as well. Anywhere where they speak the English language, that it was marketed towards that. So there's there's always some stuff that is lost in translation when that comes to that. The as far as like a editing goes, it never really feels choppy. There are a couple of moments where it kind of loses a little momentum and steam, and it kind of stalls out for a second, but then it quickly picks it back up, and it's able to get up over that hump and continue to entertain. You know, if you're getting where I'm going at with that one. So I'm like I said, 3 out of 5 on a technical side. I think it's works for what it is. Now, as far as an entertainment side goes, the animal attacks, there is plenty, more than I was even hoping for. There's an animal attack. It seems like every like 5 to 10 minutes in this movie, and it's not just like one. It's like several. There is so many different animals that they are working with in this that they had to have a small army. I bet they had 3 different animal wranglers, but I bet they had a small army of people just dedicated for those animals in general because there's so many. It is astonishing. Unlike my reviews, it is astonishing. But either way, definitely check this one out. For the entertainment side, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. This is like a 6 out of 10, bordering a 7. I like a 6.5. That's what I would give it. It's not quite a 7. Could be a little bit better, could be a whole hell of a lot worse. As far as animal attack, nature versus man type stuff, this is definitely one that I would put in the top 10 for sure because it works so well. I'd put in there Grizzly is one that I absolutely love and adore. Day of the Animals is a great one. There's just so many. Food of the Gods is a fun one. Which I need a copy of that. That sucker's too damn expensive though. But either ways, 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. I definitely say check this bad boy out. Don't waste any time pondering over, oh, do I really want to see this or not? This is definitely 100% worth the watch. You don't have to go out and buy it, but definitely find a way to watch it. It is 100% worth it. All right, guys, love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not 100% exactly what I'm going to do, when and where for this week. There's only one title for sure that I know that I am reviewing this week, and I'm doing it for a good friend of mine. So Friday, I'm reviewing a movie for a good friend of mine. So, yeah. Love your faces.